Hello everyone and welcome to The Green Economy, your new destination for the latest green innovations. Today we are exploring the world of sustainable materials and discovering what your future products are going to be made from. We're currently living in a world where plastic is taking over our lives and destroying our ecosystems. There has never been a better opportunity than now to change that. The materials revolution is at your fingertips. What will your next product be made from? Seaweed or fungi? Finally today we are chatting with Amanda Morgan from Fungi Solutions, who are growing your latest product solutions right in the heart of Melbourne. Welcome to The Green Economy. Welcome to The Green Economy. It's great to have you with us.
Thank you so much. Such a pleasure to be here.
It's such a fascinating area. So what's the story behind your company?
That's a great question. Fungi Solutions was founded a year and a half ago. We set out to prevent usable resources from going to landfill, recapture those resources and their carbon, and produce clean material byproducts from them that are alternatives to plastics and polystyrenes using the power of mushrooms. So we're a circular economy social enterprise operating from our site in Thornbury, Melbourne.
Beautiful, I love it. And how does this type of material fit into the circular economy?
It's a really interesting and elegant solution. All the materials are produced from locally collected organic waste materials, so that's coming from farms and community gardens and local businesses. This provides an additional revenue stream and also has the added benefit of preventing those resources from going to landfill. We're then able to make these clean material byproducts. Mycelium can be grown to sort of any form and is an ideal replacement for things like polystyrene, where you need some protective insulating sort of material, but then at the end of life it's fully home compostable, so all those resources can be returned to natural biological cycles.
So can you tell us a bit more about the materials and the properties they have?
Yeah, certainly. So micromaterials are a next-gen material of regenerative and bio-based production. That means that we use mycelium, that's the root network of a mushroom, to create these materials, and it works by the fungi growing through the waste resources that we collect, and this web of the root network creates a bonded mesh inside the materials. So we're able to create molded forms, and it has some nice material properties that make it really great, particularly the fact that it's thermally and acoustically insulating. It's fire retardant, extremely lightweight and durable, and of course compostable at the end of use. So it solves a couple of different material challenges, particularly with things like the plastic and polystyrene bans coming into place.
Beautiful. Sounds like the perfect material.
Yeah, it's a great alternative, I think.
Excellent. Okay. Beautiful. Love it. So there's obviously so much potential here. What impact will this industry have on the economy?
I think one of the most powerful impacts I see is generating value from things that would have previously been a hassle to dispose of. When we're talking about the cost to send something to landfill, when that's instead generating value for a small business or a council, we're really excited about harnessing those resources and seeing maximum value generated from them. But it also has the nice flow-on effects of building resilient communities and establishing a strong onshore manufacturing space for Australia.
Beautiful. This technology is amazing. What are your expansion plans for the future?
We'd really like to be setting up a upgrade from our pilot facility in Thornbury. That'll be a commercial scale facility taking in, we're hoping, up to 300 tonnes of organic waste a year. From there, we also have plans to develop microcycling hubs. So these are located in different areas of the community. This prevents waste from being shipped around, and also, as we said, provides those additional sort of revenue streams and builds a bit of community resilience as well.
Sounds good. Beautiful. Well, thank you for joining us on the Green Economy. It's great to have you with us.
Thank you so much for having me.
Now, we all know what seaweed is, and you've probably eaten it in your sushi. But do you know what else it can be used for? Today, we're lucky to be chatting with Fionnuala Quinn, who has established herself as a global leader in the seaweed industry. Thanks for joining us today, Fionnuala.
Thank you for having me, Ivana. It's great to be here.
What first drew you to seaweed? How did you learn about the possibilities it possessed?
So I actually grew up in a crayfishing or a lobster fishing family, so I've been surrounded by aquaculture my whole life. But really, the moment that inspired me was watching the film 2040 back in 2019, and just looking at the potential of farming kelp and all the products that we can create with seaweed really struck a chord with me. So particularly when I heard you can make plastics out of it in future, I just got really excited by the concept.
That's great. And it can be used in packaging as well. Can you tell us more about that?
Yeah, so it's really the reason why I founded Kelpie. When I understood that we can actually have this regenerative seaweed biomass that's growing out in the ocean and create a solution to the plastic pollution crisis, I just latched on, and I've been on the journey since then to create a world first, which is a hard plastic made from seaweed and marine waste and agri waste. So all regenerative and waste stream materials, and I'm really excited to be bringing prototypes to market shortly.
That's great. Can you tell us something about the economic value of the seaweed industry?
Yeah, it's really taking off in the West. As we know, it's always been a big industry in the East, but it's actually predicted to grow to around 25 billion by 2028. So it's on a huge upswing as people understand the potential of all the amazing things seaweed can do, from food to fertilizers to biomaterials, textiles, you name it. There's an eco solution that we can look to based on seaweed.
That's great. Can you tell us about the global seaweed farming industry as a whole? Obviously, there's a huge opportunity here.
Yeah, so that's part of my discovery, I suppose. As an entrepreneur, I wanted to understand what kind of impact this innovation can have on the planet, not just environmentally, but socially. So looking around the world, really understanding that the uplift to communities as they take on this regenerative ocean farming as an added economic kind of resource in their community is providing amazing benefits. So that's probably the most exciting draw card for me in terms of creating jobs in regions, and particularly in countries where they are most affected by climate change. So in terms of the West and Australia and New Zealand, we are looking at quite a different model where we need to be automating and getting that infrastructure in place, the hardware and the software, to meet the demands of a Western economic reality where we have higher labour costs and we need to produce at scale. So I've also partnered with European companies that specialise in hardware solutions and software solutions for the farming sector in the West. And that'll really help drive forward our production and also help us have a seat at the table in this huge industry that we're currently not playing in the Southern Hemisphere, or in Australia and New Zealand, I should say.
It sounds like a huge opportunity. We look forward to hearing how it turns out.
Yeah, thanks, Savannah.
Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks for tuning into The Green Economy. We hope you picked up something interesting. See you all next time.